Hi guys, and welcome back to your English 2 classroom. Today I want to talk to you about the difference between face-to-face learning in my classroom versus remote learning. Okay, so whether you're a face-to-face learner or a remote learner, or if that switches at some point during the year, if you're remote now and you come back to class, or if you're face-to-face and you become a remote learner, or we all become remote learners, then this will help you with the procedures for that. So I'm not going to cover everything because on the school website and with some of the information that the principal will be putting out, he'll give you the overall guidelines for how to conduct yourself as a remote learner. But I wanted to talk about some of the more specific things for my classroom. So everything goes through Google Classroom. So I'm just going to open up my Google Classroom tab. And at this point, um, everybody has probably already joined my Google Classroom. If you are um, if you are a face-to-face learner, then those codes are posted in my classroom so that you can join. If you're a remote learner, I have invited you to Google Classroom, and I will keep looking back at those rosters. And if I get a new student, then I will add you to that. Of course, if you're not in my Google Classroom, you're not seeing this video. So anyway, all of you should be signed up for Google Classroom by now. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my first period class. And by the way, if you're a remote learner, I've kept you in with your regular class period that you would be in if you were here at school. So you will be doing the exact same thing that everybody else does. Okay. I'm using a flipped classroom model, probably a modified flipped classroom, which means that I'll be putting out a lot of videos with the direct teaching that I'm going to be doing. And you can watch those videos whenever you want to, or you can watch them again if you need to. But the idea is that when you can, you watch the video before you come to class, and then you have time to do your schoolwork while you're in class. And I'm here just to help you if you need it. Okay? So I'm still doing all the planning and doing the direct teaching that I would be doing during normal times, but I will be doing more videos with me teaching rather than standing up in front of the class while you're here. So anyway, here is the Google Classroom, and you'll notice there's nothing in the stream. I'm trying to keep the stream cleaned up this year so you don't have to scroll through the stream to find what you're looking for. So what you want is the classwork tab, okay? So on the classwork tab, that's where you're going to find everything that you need. And you have topics that you can filter by off to the side. So the first topic is orientation videos. And you'll see that we have an online textbook navigation video that I made for you. So you remote learners can watch this to see how to navigate the online textbook, and I'll be posting links to assignments in that online textbook. Okay? And then you have a tab for each unit. Right now I haven't put anything in those units, but you'll have lessons in here, and I'll label them consecutively. So it'll be Unit 1, Lesson 1, Unit 1.2, which means Lesson 2, and so on. And so if you're missing something in the grade book and it says you're missing 1.3, well, then you can come back to your classwork and you can find lesson 1.3 and click on it. So hopefully that way we'll avoid all of these, which assignment was it? Maybe last year I put it in the grade book as Newsella, and you didn't know which, and your parents didn't know which assignment it was that you were missing. So I'm going to use that numbering system, so hopefully we can keep track of everything. So I'll number things in the grade book, and I'll do a corresponding number in Google Classroom. Okay, so you'll have something for each unit. By the way, we do 1 unit per 6 weeks in ELA, in English. We have, the first 6 weeks is Unit 1, the second 6 weeks is Unit 2, and so on. So you don't have to worry about more than 1 unit per 6 weeks. So how do you know, besides just looking at the classwork section, what we're working on, okay, or if you need further clarification? Well, I'm going to go back to the top of this page, And here is where you and your parents, both remote learners and face-to-face learners, can find any information. And all teachers will be using this so that it'll be very easy to navigate and see what we're doing. So if you click on that document, you'll see this is for English 2, and I have lesson plans in there. I'm wondering why my other lesson plans aren't showing up for some reason in that link. Okay, so I'll go here. Here's my agenda, and it tells you just, this is the condensed lesson plan day by day. So you can see what we're doing each day. Just a disclaimer here. Some days we might get a little off track. Let's say that it took longer to do lesson 1.1 and we didn't get to lesson 1.2. But the point is, you'll be able to see day to day what we were supposed to be doing and what assignments are supposed to have been done by that time, okay? And then if you want to know more about the lessons or a more detailed lesson plan, then here is a more detailed lesson plan with essential questions, your learning objectives, and this is for week 1, 8:10 through 8:14. And you can see more detailed lesson plans, and if you want to dig down into that and see, or if your parents want to see a more detailed lesson plan so they can help you. Okay, so that's the lesson plan portion, and so you have a link. I don't have week 2 done yet, but when I do, it'll show up here. And then you also have a link to the unit plan. I really don't think that you'll find this document all that useful, but you're more than welcome to look at it. It tells what we're going to do, kind of. It doesn't give your day-to-day activities. It just gives the overall general information for the unit. Up here, you might find this information useful because on your agenda here, I'm abbreviating things because just to make it easier. And so I put the abbreviations up here. So in one of my lesson plans, or even on Google Classroom, if you see FTF, that's face-to-face instruction. RL means a remote learner or remote learning. RLC is a remote learner check-in, and we'll talk about that in a minute. DTV is a direct teach video. That's what I'm doing right now. And then GC is Google Classroom. ED is Ed, your online textbook. And I've got a video showing you how to navigate that as well. And we've probably we'll watch that. We probably will watch that tomorrow. So anyway, that is your agenda, and that's how you know what you're supposed to be doing in my class. Of course, you're always welcome to message me. I check my email throughout the day, but if I don't get to you during the day, I will definitely get back to you at the end of the day. So the only other thing is, let's just go back to that. Oh, and my email is hensonw@ocisd.net. You can also message me through Google Classroom, but email is a good way to do it as well. So remote learner check-in. How do I know that remote learners are working on their work? Because if you're a remote learner, and this applies if we should sometime during the year all have to stay home for a few days or something. I hope that doesn't happen, but it could. So the way that I know that you're here, or the way you get counted present, is by doing your work that day. So if I see that you've logged on and done your work, and we have the GoGuardian, it shows us if you logged into the network, to the Google network through the school. If you log in and do some work, then you get counted present. Remote learners still have the same deadlines. Things are due on the same days. My light went off again. Things are due on the same days. So make sure that you're letting me know that you're working. If you go several days and I haven't heard from you, and you're not getting your work done, then you're going to get marked absent. Okay? And then you're going to get a 0 in the grade book on the work that you didn't get done. Now you can still make that work up, but if you have to have a certain percentage of attendance to get credit for a course, and so that still applies if you're a remote learner. So just make sure that you're staying in contact with me. There's no such thing as you're not going to bother me. A lot of times students will say, I hate to bother you. You're not bothering me. This is my job. So if you need help or you need to contact me or any questions that you want to ask me, feel free to ask. Now, if you send me an email at 9:30 at night, honestly, I will probably be asleep and won't get you back to you till the next day. So I do have office hours and school hours, so I may not, message you back, or I might. But just know that I will at least get back to you at least one day later. All right. There's probably some things that I didn't cover. If you have any questions, just let me know. I will be happy to answer those questions for you, and I will see you on our next video.